and Story World. Song and Story World.
Hello and welcome to Song and Story World. Arthur had no idea how he got there. The last thing he could remember was snuggling up in a bunch of ripe bananas and having a kip. Now, it isn't the sort of place an ant would normally sleep, but Arthur, the ant, had managed to get lost, walked for ages, and finally found himself surrounded by massive boats. Yes, boats. All his mates were still in and around the nest, which was just a short distance, well, for a human that is, a short distance away from the dockyard. And then he'd spotted this open box with a load of beautifully smelly bananas in it. It was too much to resist. One of the bananas had split open, so of course he had to gronf a bit of the lovely white nosh. And having eaten just a bit too much, he snuggled up inside that very same bunch of nanas. Ah, it's an ant's life, he thought, as he drifted off into ant-type dreams. When he woke up, things were dark and wobbly. He managed to scuttle toward a chink of light he could see and just managed to squeeze through a gap into the bright sunlight. And what a sight! Water, water everywhere! This must be the sea, he thought. He'd heard tales of a massive expanse of water called the sea from older ant explorers. Yes, this must be the sea, so I must be on a boat. And that box he just crawled out of was right at the bottom of a whole load of boxes piled high on the deck. Now Arthur was a pretty brainy ant. He wasn't pretty, of course, handsome at a pinch if you were a lady ant, but he was pretty brainy. I bet all those boxes are full of bananas, and this ship is taking them away somewhere to be sold. He knew all about buying and selling, because in his nest he had once sold a squishy fat grub for 1p. That's a real green garden pea, not our sort of money, of course. And he was right. The ship was taking boxes of ripe bananas just a short way along the coast to a small port where they could be offloaded and the bananas would be sold in the market there. 2 days later, the bananas had been delivered, and after Arthur had had to eat nothing but bananas, the ship was on its way back to collect some more bananas. Poor old Arthur hadn't had a chance to get ashore when the ship had been unloading, and he was feeling a bit panicky about perhaps having to spend the rest of his little ant life on the rolling deck of a banana boat, trying to avoid all the big boots of those gigantic sailors. When the ship had finally docked, Arthur was absolutely desperate to get on dry land. He had thought of jumping overboard and swimming ashore, but the sea was an awful long way from the deck, and he didn't even know if ants could swim. At last he came across a very thick rope which seemed to go all the way down from the boat to the shore and was fastened to some sort of metal ring on the quay. That's it, he thought. Go for it, Arthur. So he did. It wasn't long before he'd scuttled down the rope and was back to a tumultuous welcome at his home nest. Well, it wasn't long in human time, but it actually took days in ant time. Still, he was home now, and for sure he never ever wanted to see another banana as long as he lived. On a banana boat heading out to sea, lucky Arthur Ant isn't seasick. On a banana boat cast off from the quay, those heaving waves would make me sick. Only bananas start off as a treat. Pretty soon the diet gets mundane. Only bananas Ollie's got to eat squidgy yellow fruit, tastes all the same. On a banana boat heading down the coast, off to sell bananas in the shops there. On a banana boat, hope to make the most. Lots of lovely fruit they can all share. Only bananas, no honeydew for him, no aphids here for Arthur and to munch on. Only bananas, no leaves or insects here. Creepy crawlies are not on for lunch. Pretty soon he craves for something that will squirm. A grub, perchance, or possibly a worm. On a banana boat heading out to sea, lucky Arthur Ant isn't seasick. On a banana boat cast off from the quay, those heaving waves would make me sick. Only bananas, no honeydew for him, no aphids here for Arthur Ant to munch on. Only bananas, no leaves or insects here. Creepy crawlies are not on for lunch. Pretty soon he craves for something that will squirm. A grub, perchance, or possibly a worm. On a banana boat heading down the coast, off to sell bananas in the shops there. On a banana boat, hope to make the most. Lots of lovely fruit they can all share.
Song